very happy to introduce Bruno to all of you. Bruno, welcome to Warm Up. The floor is all yours.
Hi everyone. So my name is Bruno, and let me show my screen. So let's start. So who am I? My name is Bruno Bel Nunes. I am 16 years old, and this is my second FRC season. But I have been in contact with Spurs since 2018 as FTC NFL member. Talking about Under Control. Under Control is the oldest Brazilian FRC team in activity, founded in 2002. During our journey, we won 32 awards, including 14 blue banners. Being the most impactful one is the 2021 World Championships Chairman's Award finalist. There is a photo from our team in the second Brazilian off-season, what happened in the last year. We also do FLL judges and coaching training since in Brazil and Uruguay. We was FTC judges and coaching trainer in Brazil. We mentored more than 18 first teams, hosted more than 20 events, assisted more than 300 first teams, and stabilized first FRC regional in Brazil. So now I'm going to start talking about this presentation team. So what is outreach? Outreach is any activity that has a measurable and significant impact on a group of people that our team call community. So this is a photo from our team in being judges in Brazilian robotics competition, not exactly first, but it's something kind of like that for public schools in our country. So some examples from what is outreach. The local action, we call it's, for example, donation of PET bottle caps. The main source of the outcome is nearly NGO. In the regional, we think it's volunteer at multiple FLL, FTC, FRC events. So that's what we do from these years for today. We call national and projects, we call Robots for All, where we donate kits from Arduino for published schools in Brazil. In international, we mentor FTC teams from Nigeria and FLL teams from Ghana. It was a very cool project that we do. And there's a video from this Brazilian event we was judged. So what we think is a sustainable project. A sustainable project is any action that can still be used after its conclusion. It needs to be cheap and replicable. For example, we have development of resources, classes, robots for all that I said after this slide. And there's a photo from one of our projects. It's Girls in Control. From girls from our team made it for inspire first robot for girls in Brazil. Another example is Brazil First Community. It's a project we started with the purpose of creating a self-sustaining community so that all Brazilian teams can share their projects and ideas. It's now it's an Instagram profile. There we show our projects from Brazilian teams, and we say the news from Brazilian first regional that will happen in March. So now I'm going to talk about building and organizing all the projects. We from 1156 have an project charter. There we put all our structure from our project. So there you can see all the topics I'm going to talk. I mean, almost all topics I'm going to talk in this presentation are in this. Also, for organizing our projects, we talk in WhatsApp. We organizing with a big board in our lab where we put post-its and say about these projects. And there's other examples we used before, just like Trello. We use Miro. Then it's a lot of possibilities to organize a project and talk with your teammates about it. So for defining your projects, every project starts with a problem. And the most time these problems are found in within your community. So if you're thinking about starting a new project, you need to ask yourself, what do I want to solve with this project? For example, Brazil First Community, we want to make the community first in Brazil more, how can I say that? More accept with an accessibility better for all teams. There they can talk about his projects or talking about girls in control. We want show for all first teams that girls can make the difference, so not only men. And that's some problems we found in our community that we wanted to solve. So for the goals from your projects, you need to set these goals and establish what you want to achieve with them, for that your problem must be solved. So everything you put as a goal needs to solve your problem, started problem. The scope of your project is defining what do you want to deliver as the final product. This product must be in contact with this goal. So everything I'm going to talk, all will be connected. So everything you do in your scope, we need to see your goals are talking together. So your is nature problem. So after you see all of that, you need to set the deadlines. The deadline is a limit of narrow field of time or a particular point in the time by which an objective or task must be realized. Once that time was passed, the item or the goal or the scope may be considered overdue. Talking about the restrictions and resources, they all will said what you need to your project be successful. So the restrictions of your project will determine the deadlines and or the budget if your project needed, and how many members and mentors will work with these projects, and if needed, who will be the partners. So sponsors, teams, all of that need to be seen after started a project. There's a photo where we take it for an sponsored one. and sponsor help us from all these under control path. So, and now I'm going to talk about some tips to see. Prepare the needed resources in advance. So after you start a project, we need to set in PowerPoint or something to show to your teammates why this needs to be solved and who will be affected by it. Do not forget to document the progress of your project. So as we said up here, you need an documentation. We use WhatsApp to talk with each other. That's very important because one day you will leave the project and someone will take your place. So, and documentation is essential to your project. Can be done with success. What else? And measure the impact of your actions. Example, how many people were impacted, how many kilometers did the project reach, how many views did we have, and other things you need to see, because all of that must be seen. See if your project was successful. If you don't have any important measure of the impact, your project done was good or something you need to improve for your project must be done right. So everything on a sustainable project work with holding hands, can I say it? Because if you don't have one of these information or one of these documentation, or if you don't have any goal, your project, it's nothing. You will reach anything. No one will be impacted. So everything must be seen with advance. Everything must be organized with other teammates and see exactly what you will do and what your partners will do. So I'm going to talk more about some projects than I said before. Robots for All was a project I made part for a time. In this picture, we go to a published school in our city. And there we initiated some robot classes. This is the first day where we talk with the kids and show them what you can do with robots and robotics. Everything you will set, they will set from this journey was starting this day. And for, if I don't miss, from 2 months later, the robotics was set in this school. We helped them. We made some classes, and before that day that we finished the project, we see, yes, this project was successfully. We do this well, and now what we can do to improve this project. Now we are going to see, if I don't miss, another 2 schools in our city to help them because they need it. So this kind of project is sustainable. You started the project, we see all you need, you finish, you see it's successful, and you ask, may I continue the project or may I stop the project? We do everything we could and we can do anything else. From this example, we will continue the project and see more kids happy with robotics. Other project is Girls in Control. This is starting 2019. Because our team was the most part men, and the girls who want to join the team was not much confident about this decision. So we want to make this project to initial to encourage more girls from our school, and after that we wanted to encourage more girls around Brazil to enter in first robotics and FTC and FLL, because robotics something will help in your life. That's one thing we saw, and this project exists till today. And last example, we have the Brazil First Community. That was a project so to help our other Brazilian teams and make the in the time was and week robotics in Brazil more strong. Now we have in our own regional. Now another teams from all categories have the categories fixed in Brazil. We have an partner. We are partner from SESI, the first represent in Brazil, and because of that, now Brazil is stronger in robotics. Now we can have our own regional. Now the FTC and FRC will be the own Brazilian representables teams in the the championship, and all of that because we have in project sustainables, and we have some projects are make the difference in our community. Nothing from our talk will be done right if you don't have a sustainable project. Under control don't exist since 2002 without a sustainable project. So all of that you will need to your team continue, or if you want to start in team, you need to learn with the others and try to help your community with the way you can. And so I think I talked everything a little quicker, I guess. What else can I see? Oh yeah. All the projects must have an team who was like the project. Having a boring project don't make your teammates happy, and this will make the results of your project bad. So you won't have an happy project, as I can say, because your team will be boring, and this will be stressful, I guess, if you don't have a project. So have friends in your team with your project will be nice. And as I say, partners will make all the difference in your project. Everyone. We have a project called hey, I said before, the Robots for All. Not only 1156 working, and another FTC teams worked with us to make this possible. We started this project in pandemics, and we finished in the last year. So we see this project was good. He worked well, and we don't need it to continue because we do everything we could. and now we must focus in other projects because that's how it works. You start a project, you see the project was good, and if you don't have to continue, go and make the other. So from us, from under control, this is our examples who will help you make the project sustainable and who will work good in your community. So I'm going to remind it. Always have a good team, have a good mentor with this project, see the partners, make the documentation good, see all the, if you need a partner from teams or sponsors, and most important, enjoy the project, and you will see the project will make a difference in your community. So I think from me, it's that. I don't know if I have anything to talk more. So if you want to start the Q&A section, for me, it's okay.
Right. Yes, Bruno, thank you very much for your presentation. And of course, we are open for Q&A for questions to Team 1156. And we already have one question for you, Bruno. How many people participate to make your projects work?
It's depend the impact you want to do in your project. So Community Force Brazil, we have 3 members from our team, and we have a lot of, if I don't mistake, another 3 teams with us, an FTC team and FLL team. And we have another project from Robots for All, where 5 people working to help the school. And so depends much what you want to impact your project.
Okay, but definitely you need people to focus on every specific project, right? Like they have to be only working on that thing so they can do it the proper way. Okay. All right. We have another question. Do you involve the rookies on your team on the projects? And if you do so, do they have important tasks?
Yes, we have. Every project we start, we call a mentor, and veteran we call, and a rookie at least, because no, just the veterans must done a project, because the new generations of the team must work in this project to your team continue evolving. You need the rookies on your project, and yes, they do important tasks. I joined it in Community First Brazil in my first year. I entered the team, and since I entered, they called me for this project, and I call on other people from my team for that. And that's a cycle you need to continue to your team be sustainable.
Okay. Well, we have more questions and also about rookies and now rookie teams. How could a rookie team that has fewer members and resources start developing projects?
You can talk with other teams, see their projects, and ask them if you can help. That's a way. Or you can focus on your regional or your city, because it's a cycle you follow. You start with the local project, I guess, make an event in your city park, where you go with your robot and show the city what it's robotics, and it's impact your society. This make your society say, oh, I want my son in robotics and make this difference. And this kind of action made difference. Every action you do make difference, but be clear what you want achieve, and you need to be clear with all your teammates to achieve this.
Okay, well, our next question is, how do you measure your results and see if projects are really working?
As I said before, we have some how can I say that? I guess depends the projects too. If you want have a project will impact people, you see how many people I impact. Oh, or how many kilometers my project will reach. For example, Robots for All, we send from the south from our country kits for the north our country, and Brazil is big. So this kind of information will help to see and measure the impact of your actions.
Yeah, and I believe it's also important to mention that numbers are not always the answer. And there are certain projects where you cannot measure specifically or only numbers. So you need to be creative and think of ways on how to show your results with other people. I think that's what you're trying to say, right?
Yes, that's it. Sometimes your projects are too big, you can't say exactly numbers, or your project it's something not much impactful, but you still have an impact. Everything you do has an impact. You can say, oh, I go to the city park and I make an robot presentation, and we go there 5 hours. You can't say how many people you impact with that. You say you impact your society.
Okay. And also another question, and this is on how you design your new projects. Are you familiar, or is your team familiar with brainstorm sessions? Do you have brainstorm sessions as to pick ideas for projects, or do you have any other process to get new ideas?
We have both. Weekly, we make brainstorming sections where we talk about all the projects we have, and if we have any idea to start a project. One project we made, it was Girls in Control, was something the girls from our team said. They was insecure about girls don't enter in the team. So this kind of action will help you to have an idea to start a project.
All right. Well, the next question is, do most of your projects need sponsors, or are there any projects you run by yourself without any funding?
The most parts we don't need sponsors. Girls in Control we do from our team. Of course, the sponsors help our team, but they're not directly in contest with the project. But sometimes you will need it, as you can think, we need to go to a city 100 kilometers from our city. You will need some, and other people will help you as your mentor, or some kind of sponsors. And the project has a great mass of things you can do. You can choose everything you want, only thinking what you need to achieve and what kind of action I need to achieve.
Okay. And well, there are more questions in the Q&A section. Maybe if we cannot answer them all, we don't have the time. But if maybe you could take a look and maybe answer them via text. And the last question would be, what would be your overall advice to the rookie teams that are watching you? Most of the teams and most of the team members that are right now with us are rookies, and they are getting ready for the season, and they have a lot of questions. They don't know how to give the best for their teams. So what would be your advice and maybe your team's advice as to how to develop new projects, even being a rookie team?
Uh, reach what your city needed and what kind of impact you have in your community. Made a research of your community will start good projects. Every community has your problems. Every community has your things you need to do. So talk with your friends and teammates and see what our robot team can make to make the difference in your community.
Okay. Well, Bruno, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate that you took the time to make this presentation. Also, thank you to the whole team under control, the Brazilian team that is also running these FRC warm up 2023 along Base Cookies and Teams Robotics. So I think there was no better option, and I'm happy that this was our last presentation of the webinar. Thank you, Bruno. It was a pleasure meeting you and having you with us, and hopefully we'll have you in the next editions of the warm-up.
Thanks, and see you in the next warm-up.
Thank you.